Okay, we're on intro to inverses now. Oh, that's not what this is supposed to be. This is now finding the inverse, not using a table and graph. We've already did that. This is finding the equation. Ignore that from my note. I know, it's tripping. All right, here we go. To find the equation of the inverse, 2 steps. First step, you switch x and y. Second step, you solve for y. Hence why your due now for today was solving equations. Oh my gosh. Who would have thought that? Okay, that's what it was. So 2 steps again. We're going to switch our x and a y. We're going to solve for y. Once we solve for y, we're going to rename it. And we rename it as either y to the -1 or f of x to the -1. Okay, depending on what it started off as. What that lets the other person know is that this is my inverse. It's not the original, it's the inverse. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's do our first example. So we have y equals 4x plus 8. Step 1. What does it say? Switch your x and y. So now it becomes x equals 4y plus 8. Goal is to get y by itself. What is my first step to get y by itself? Subtract 8. Perfect. So we have x minus 8 equals 4y. What is our last step to get y by itself? Divide everything by 4. You get a 4. You get a 4. Okay. Is y by itself now? So now it's called the inverse, and it equals x over 4 minus 2. And that is how you do it. We start off with the linear so that you can get comfortable with what the steps are. Questions, comments, concerns? We're good? Are you ready for the next example? All right, here we go. Again, what do? Switch. So this is going to become x equals 2y squared minus 6. Our goal is to get y by itself. What's the first step to get y by itself? Add 6. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So we have x plus 6 equals 2y squared. What is the second step I'm going to do to get y by itself? Divide by 2. Divide everything by 2. So we have x divided by 2 plus 3 equals y squared. Y is not by itself. What's the last thing we need to do? Take the square root. Okay, y is now by itself, so it's going to be called the inverse. And we have the square root of x divided by 2 plus 3. Okay, square roots are a little funny. So this is a little added thing you have to do with square root. You have to have your plus or minus. That's because when you take the square root of something, the result can either be a positive or a negative. So that's our final answer. When you take the square root. All right, still with me? Is it terrible? No? It's skills that you already have, right? Yes, just in a different box, okay? And that's what you're doing. So again, for this one, I want to do number 3 with you really quick, just because it's going to lead into the exponential. It starts off as an exponential. F of x is the same thing as what? Y. So when I switch, it's going to become x equals 5 to the y. And we have to use log, because how do you get rid of an exponential? Log. So we take the log of both sides. When you take the log of both sides, it sets your exponent free. What do I need to do to get y by itself? This is implied multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplication? Divide. So I have to divide by log 5. Y is now by itself. So the inverse equals log of x over log of 5, which equals log base 5 of x. Logs and exponentials run a little different. Okay? Remember the bottom of the denominator here is the base of the log. Okay? All right, so you should have enough tools in your toolbox to do 5 through 10. We'll do some more practice tomorrow.